Okay, we're off to the parts store to get some oil and filters because I'm going to do oil changes on some trucks today. And look what I woke up to the other morning. 8:30 in the morning, my wife goes out to get the newspaper, and our neighbor says that their vehicles were robbed. So I should check mine. And this is what they got. They took the gauges out of my A-pillar. They took my JVC touchscreen stereo, and the dumbasses took my remote start and left the antenna and left the spare key fob in the glove box. So I don't understand what the hell a heroin addict or whoever robbed these vehicles would want to do with a piece of a remote starter, but that's what they got. So a little pissed off right now. Stereo is $800, and then the wire that goes from the stock wiring harness for the truck to the stereo was another, I don't know, 20 bucks maybe. And then the filler piece that went around here, which was a pain in the ass to find, was another 20 bucks or something. He looked up the gauge cluster. My insurance agent looked up the gauge cluster. That was, I don't remember, 60, 70 bucks. They took the Ford emblem out of the grill of the truck. They took change, a couple dollar bills, and left tools. They left sockets and wrenches and pliers and all that stuff. But the worst part is they took my privacy. That's the worst part about it. All this crap can get replaced. Insurance is going to replace most of it. But now it's like, I don't even feel comfortable in my own home. So that's what really sucks. So with any luck, they'll find the moron that did it, or morons. I kind of think there's more than one, but I don't know. Just really sucks. And I don't even know that gauge cluster. I mean, this is a 2004. I don't even know if they have them anymore or if they make them anymore. I mean, I'm sure they do. They have something similar, but I mean, that's just such crap. Like, why would you take a gauge cluster off of I mean, because they hit like 8 houses or 8 vehicles on my road, and they took change and stereos and they took a credit card that I had in my folder to for gas and stuff. I was tempted not to call it in because I have fraud protection on it. So, like, if I just called it in and said, hey, listen, the card's gone, and they would look back and say, oh, yeah, it was used yesterday, da-da-da. And I'm like, yep, that wasn't me. And then they could look at the video surveillance of whatever gas station or store or whatever they used it in and maybe get an idea of who it was. I don't know. I just called the credit card company the next morning and shut it off. There was no charges on it. So they took the credit card and they didn't even use it. They took from my neighbors. They took a stereo from my neighbors down the other way. They took a bunch of useless paperwork and junk that they had in there, and change. So I mean, we've been having some issues on the island in the past few months. And they've caught a few of them, and they've all turned out to be heroin addicts. And, so I'm assuming it was a heroin addict that did my vehicle too. But, to be specific and take the gauges and part of my remote start doesn't really make any sense to me, but doing heroin doesn't make any sense to me either, so I don't know. But, I don't know. Just bullshit. Yeah, so I wasn't even gonna mention it, but Now that I think about it, it can be completely false and just paranoid and just coincidental, but when my truck was broken into, I got everything put back together, put the dash back on and all that stuff, and put the key in the ignition, turned on the ignition, got the glow plugs warmed up, and started the truck. And the truck turned over and fired right up like it normally does. And I let it warm up for a little while, and all of a sudden 2 of my injectors just stopped, just started running on 6 cylinders. So I immediately shut off the truck, tried to figure out what the hell's going on, checked under the hood to make sure the wiring was all in order and there was nothing going on there. And then it kind of thought maybe something got in my fuel, so I changed the fuel filter, and then got paranoid and thought maybe somebody put something in my fuel tank, and I only had a quarter tank in there, so I siphoned it all out, put new fuel in it, fired it up, and it fired up. Ran some cleaner. Oh, hello. Put some cleaner in there with it, and it fired right up. It was running on 6 cylinders, then it was running on 7, then it was running on 8, but it kept, popping back off, just, in and out of 8 cylinders. Right now it's running fine. When I first fired it up this morning, it was kind of hesitating a little bit. It seemed like it was in and out of 8 cylinders. So I'm wondering, is it possible that this freaking Cracker Jack put something in my fuel tank? Not sugar. I heard sugar doesn't really do anything because it won't get past the filter, but I've heard like detergent or some other liquid substance that you can put in there that screwed up. I mean, is it possible, or am I just being paranoid? So I have to take it to a Ford dealer now, and they have to put it on the machine or whatever they got to do to find out if they can find any foreign substance in the fuel or test the injectors or whatever. But so I figured today I'm just gonna do an oil change on it just to make sure, because now I have fresh fuel in it and I'll have fresh oil in it, and hopefully everything will be good to go. But anyways, that's my day for today. I got to do this, and then I got to go to a Ford dealer and drop this thing off for God knows how long. But we're home now, and I got the oil, so I'm gonna get back to work.